Hello and welcome to Smash Writing. It's been a while since we covered the Hellraiser franchise. I've been meaning to come back to it. It's been about a month since I covered 2. Some things happen, you know how it goes. But we're back with Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. I'd watched it once before. I couldn't really remember too many of the details from it. And I was a little worried because I know this franchise is supposedly supposed to have a hard drop off at some point. I was a little worried maybe it was Hellraiser 3. Let's dive in and see if the big drop off happened here, shall we? The movie opens up. We meet a guy named J.P. Monroe. He sneaks into this place called the Pyramid Gallery, where he buys this weird looking statue from a homeless man, as one does. And we jump to a reporter named Joey. She's covering a nothing assignment at a hospital where nothing is going on. And she's kind of deflated by all that, but Doc, the cameraman, tries to boost her spirits a little bit, like, no one's messing with you. They could have known nothing was going on here. He gets called away to go cover a hostage situation, I believe it is, or bank robbery or something. Cover another situation. And she's about to leave the hospital when this guy gets gurneyed into the hospital, chains hanging off of him, this woman screaming something behind him. And she tells the reporter, Joby, that she doesn't know what's going on. She just found him outside a place called the Boiler Room. And she runs off whenever the door to the emergency room blows open. And Joey manages to get inside and see all the chains are levitating and pulling. You get electricity, and he explodes. Off to the Boiler Room we go, which appears to be a giant club kind of deal. And we're owned by J.P. Monroe. She's asking around trying to find this woman whose name ends up being Terry, and she leads her to JP, but he doesn't give her anything, and she ends up having to leave. Meanwhile, Terry's watching from a distance. And we jump ahead. She's asleep and having dreams of a battlefield, of her dad being killed on battlefield. She gets waken up by Terry calling. She was willing to exchange information for a place to stay. So Joey jumps at the chance. Like, yeah, come on, you can stay at my house for the night. And they talk a little bit about the dreams and everything, and we learn that Terry doesn't dream and whatnot. And she begrudgingly gives her the information that she needs, that she doesn't know him. She just found him outside of the club, and he was holding the box, which is covered in cement. And we jump ahead to JP. He is a little annoyed that there's a chunk of his statue missing. He sticks his hand into it and gets bitten by a rat. And he gets some blood on the statue, and that awakens Pyramid Head's face, which has been like cemented into this statue thing. It's like this pillar kind of deal statue. Really weird looking statue. He bleeds on the statue and he awakens Pyramid Head. Not Pyramid Head, god damn it. Pinhead. I did that constantly in my notes. I kept confusing him and Pinhead. Awakens Pinhead face in the statue. Anyways, we jump to Joey. She's running around with Terry because Terry's the one who got him in touch with the statue thing. And they go down to the Pyramid Gallery, which has been closed for a while. And the owner is nowhere to be found. And she starts, her and Terry break into it, and they start poking around, and they find things from a mental institution, which has pictures, ends up having pictures of Pinhead as a human. And she calls the institute, and she really wants the videos on Christy Cotton. And the invite that Terry had for the night becomes a permanent residence, and she can stay as long as she wants. Meanwhile, back at JP, the statue eats a blonde. And he freaks out, tries to shoot it, it doesn't work, and he is about to run off, but Pinhead is like, help me, and I can show you pleasures. And you can experience it by my side. You have power and pleasure and everything you want. So, of course, JP goes along with this. She's back with Joey, she's got the videos, she's watching the Christy Cotton stuff. And it's interrupted a little bit by human Pinhead screaming, you have to help me, confirming Christy's story. Like, you have to believe her. And meanwhile, back at the house, JP calls Terry, trying to get her to come back. And she shoots him down, but after she hangs up, another call comes through that Joey is getting a job. She's got the job offer from Monterey and wants to sell the penthouse, and this freaks out Terry, who leaves the house and goes back to JP. And Joey gets home, sees the note that called her a liar, and she's leaving, and goes to bed. So while she's sleeping, we go back to JP and Terry now, and JP keeps trying to lure her over to the statue. And on the second time, he manages to get her to come close enough, and the statue wakes up, and he tries to drag her over, but she knocks him out with a pair of brass knucks. When Pinhead, again, offers her deal, like, you can give me him, and then I'll help you, and you won't be alone in this world anymore. So she feeds JP to the statue. And this is more than enough to splinter the statue, break it into pieces, and Pinhead is whole again. And meanwhile, back with Joey, she's dreaming of the battlefield again, but this time, human Pinhead is there. And she wakes up, and she opens the windows, and going off a note or something, she opens the windows and sees this portal kind of deal leading to the scene of human Pinhead opening the pyramid box, the lament configuration. And she's able to go from that dream to her own dream, where human Pinhead is waiting, calling himself Elliot Spencer. And pretty much what happened at the end of part 2 was Christy pulled the goodness out of him, but the evil side of him clung on, and it was in the pillar from the end of 2, which became the statue. And now his evil side is free to roam the earth. What he wants Joey to do is use the box, get him to come back through the window, and then once he's in that world, the human Pinhead Elliot can do something about it, because he can't do anything from where he's at. So Joey wakes up and she sees that there's a news report going on from the boiler room, because after he was whole, Pinhead came down and ran amok through the boiler room. So she thinks she's seeing this news report. She calls Doc to come down and meet her. That he can't find anything on his TV because she's getting fed a false story through hers. Her television is not even plugged in for some reason. It's unplugged. I don't know why. But she gets there, and there's just bodies littered all through the club. And Pinhead is waiting. Now, the thing about this is, at this moment, she has the lament configuration. And this movie tells you that he can't take the box. He has to be given the box. Which seems like a flaw, because more than one occasion he's held the box in his hands. But anyways, I digress. We get down there, and she finds Doc's body gone. He has a camera for a head now, and that's when she's confronted by Pinhead. And he's pretty much what he wants his box, and he's going to do whatever it takes for her to give him the box. She manages to make a break for it out the door. She's running down the street, and she is dodging constant explosions, chains coming from everywhere, and then we meet some new Cenobites, because the old ones are out. In with the new. We have Doc, who has a camera for an eye that shoots rockets. We have a DJ who throws discs, like CD discs, like Ninja Stars. And we got the guy from the bartender, who can breathe fire. And they're running amok, they're chasing after her. Meanwhile, she ends up in a church, looking for sanctuary and help fighting the demons, which Pinhead just comes right in and just mocks this guy and his beliefs. Mimics the Jesus pose on the cross. Wonderful stuff. And while he's taking care of the priest, she tries to make another run for it. But she gets cornered by 2 more Cenobites, bringing up to 5 Cenobites now. These 2 Cenobites are JP and Terry. Terry got unanimous, or unceremoniously just turned into a Cenobite without our knowledge. But whatever. What can you do? Now the rest of the Cenobites have arrived. Pinhead's here, and she uses the box to suck them all in, and she thinks it's over. She even appears in a grassy field, and her dad's there, and she thinks this is her reward for her good deed done, and she gives him the box because she thinks she'll just take it to Elliot. But no, it's Pinhead in disguise. Memories are a window into your soul. And that's when it dawns on her that she did achieve her goal here. And Elliot arrives. And him and Pinhead have a confrontation. But Pinhead actually puts Joey in these chains and straps and leather mask. And he's like, I wasn't the only one controlling the bus here for all these years, Elliot. You are enjoying this as much as I was. And he's like, you have a point there. And he grabs Pinhead and starts reabsorbing him, which frees Joey. And she allows the two combined. She uses the box again to suck him back into the box and trap them both back into hell. And you see her wake up back in the quarry that she was surrounded in, and she buries it in the cement. And we jump ahead, and we see a building now erected on this quarry spot. And the building has all of these lament configuration details to it, like the box has influenced the building that it had been built on. And that is the movie. That's Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. The hardest movies in the world to review is a movie that is just fine. Because there's not much to say about them. There's not much negative or positive. It's just a fine movie. This movie floats on just fine. You got some real incredible things. Some of the kills were really fun, as always. Hellraiser, so far up to this point, does a really good job on their kills. And Doug Bradley is phenomenal. His performance as Pinhead, and the way he talks, and his mannerisms, especially the way he talks, the speeches are top tier, monster speeches. Just great stuff. Terry Farrell, who plays Joey, she was fun to watch. I've seen her in a few other things here or there. She was actually pretty good. She did the best she could with what she got. I think she could have. The script could have been a little stronger for her, but I do like the fact. I don't even want to complain about the script too much either, because I like the idea that they played off of what was given before, right? Where were we before? Well, Pinhead did become Elliot again at the end of 2. So how do you get him back to being Pinhead? Well, you split the souls, and he's in that weird spiral thing. I did like the fact that there's a continuation that they're picking up, like, okay, where did 2 left off? Let's build from there. That was a lot of fun. I really didn't like any of the new Cenobites at all. I just didn't care about them. That's because I missed the old ones. I like the old guards, Chatterer, Butterbean. I think Butterbean's the boxer. And the lady Cenobite, she was, especially in 2, where she started having a bit more to do. So I didn't really care about these new Cenobites too much. I thought you could have handled Terry a lot better, because she was kind of like the emotional character in this. Like, you want to see Joey as the hero, but you kind of want to see Terry succeed here. But no, and she didn't even have a good ending either. It was just fade to black, and now she's a Cenobite. That was it. Other than that, though, it's a fine movie. It's nothing to write home about, nothing to complain about. You can sit down and put it on and just enjoy it. It's not as good as 1 and 2, but it's not bad either. So, final grade, B-. Alright, thank you all for watching. Have a good day.